Second row, Joe Tunney is alongside James Scott, who also started last week. In the back row, made up of Hinckley, Wright and Basham. You can expect him to do just that. What a commentator's dream. And before we look at the Scotland team, we can just see that here at Preston Grasshoppers, we've got a solo performance here at Lightfoot Green of Jerusalem. Lovely atmosphere setting. It is pretty cloudy overhead, there is some light drizzle, but of course we've got the 4G pitch, which is a beautiful setting for this afternoon's game. So nice scene setting here at Preston Grasshoppers as we can look at the Scotland side. The real test for them will be seeing the players stepping up to this level. The schools competitions north of the border, well, they are not of the same standard as the top schools in England. So for several of the players, this shot at representative rugby could be a real challenge. Up front, skipper Ewan McLaren and hooker Fraser are both Scottish Rugby Academy boys, with Nimmo playing rugby at Biggar Rugby Club. Second row comprises Butler from London Irish and Callum Bell, who's with Glasgow. The back row, Darge, Boyle and Cruikshank, arguably 2 7s and an 8. Boyle just 16 with another year to impress after this, of course. Gus Wall will control things from 9 with Ross Thompson at 10, one of 3 backs who lifted the Scottish Schools Cup with Stewart's Melville College in December. Lenine and Blaine the other 2. The centres are McMichael and McLean. Merchiston's Josh Eagers is on the right wing. And the benches. Well, England's bench with Will Capon, who started last week, James Kenny, Bevan Rodd, James Dunn, Andy Christie, Cameron Calametti, Tom Seabrook, who was involved last week, and Fraser Dingwall, who of course was involved in that Champions Trophy final in November. And for Scotland, Finlay Scott, Murphy Walker, Daniel York, Cameron Henderson, Jack Hutchison, Rowan Frostwick, Matthew Davidson and Grant Hughes. So our pre-match entertainment has concluded. We've had a very solemn rendition of Jerusalem, but of course Preston Grasshoppers, notable players from well, the Five Nations era. Wade Dooley, of course, the Dooley suite downstairs, where they've had plenty of people in having their hospitality. The round tables, the white tablecloths, they've all been in nice and early and got themselves going. And there've been plenty of people around the club for the last couple of hours enjoying rugby up here in the northwest as Scotland make their way onto the fields. So the Scotland team out, and England begin to make their way out onto the field as well. Ollie Fox, the skipper. It was great. Just around half an hour ago, I was just down by the side of the pitch and I saw a couple of very young boys, may even be the mascots, coming up and having a chat with Ollie Fox. And starstruck as they were to see a young England player with the red rose on his chest. Ollie Fox more than happy at the tender age he is to spend time with the two youngsters, knowing how key it is to make a good impression on the next generation at that sort of age. So the teams both out, and we are ready for the anthems. So the anthem's beautifully sung, and we are ready to get underway here. John Fletcher and Ali Donaldson then talking to us pre-match about how it's important that their players get the chance to express themselves. It's a similar story for England to do so as it was last week, and you might expect a similar result. They will be expected to be perhaps a little more competitive at this level than Scotland. For Scotland, it is a first chance to see how some of these players cope at an international representative level. Some of England's players, of course, with experience already at 16s level. Well, England are ready to receive the kick, but Scotland are just still hitting tackle bags on the far side to get themselves fired up for this one. England-Scotland normally not a contest that requires any further firing up. Our referee for this one is from the Welsh Union, Michael English. Must be a brave man to have a surname English coming from Wales. So the game is underway, and it is a deep kick, and it looks like it's going to be taken in by Fox, who immediately looks for the support and gets it from Aaron Reid. But there was a forward pass there, just a bit of inaccuracy from England in the opening couple of moments, and Scotland will have a scrum right on the 22. They'll be relatively pleased with that at this stage. That'll do. Gus Waugh from the Dollar Academy came up to Scotland this year, Sale Sharks Academy scrum half. He missed the academy finals at Allianz Park due to injury. His brother Harry played under 18s last year. He is a live wire at scrum half, as you would expect. Ball just waits at the back of the second row before it's finally heeled back, and now Scotland have the chance to try and get going down the back line. Coming across from the left side was Jacob Lenine, but he was superbly smashed by Caden Murley. 11 on 11. Murley tracked him across the field, and England get good turnover ball here and could get going on the far side. It's with Redpath. Father Brian Redpath, Scottish international, is here at Preston watching on, as is Sean Lenine watching the Scottish winger Jacob we saw a moment ago. England look for a little bit more depth on it, and it's Nick Dolly, boy who's over from Australia, and he manages brilliantly to get the offload away, and then the support back inside from Fox. Just juggled with it but managed to hold on. England enjoying possession and smashing into the hits. Scotland get themselves in a good position for the turnover though, and that is excellent work. Really clear release of the player, back in over the ball, and Scotland with a key turnover just as England were building up ahead of steam. Ross Thompson puts that one into touch on the far side. Cup-winning captain for Stuart's Melville College, with that cultured left boot. Not a big talker, but the words he says are often well heeded, according to Ali Donaldson, chatting to him during the week. Fraser wasn't tidy from the top of the line out, but well, I thought for a moment Scotland had got under it and managed to get hold of the ball, but it is with England keenly getting over that gain line. Fox wanting to try and get good quick service, and Redpath looked really bright when he came on last week, came on perhaps earlier than he might have done with the injury that Marcus Smith picked up, and we saw quite a lot of Cameron Redpath scoring 11 points in that game last week. Attempted a little break from Hardwick, but he just got scragged, couldn't quite get the ball away, but it is recycled, and then there's the offload from Basham. Goes forward from Fox. McMichael getting that ball recycled on the floor, and away from War. Carry from Andrew Nimmo, away from Bigger. Well, on that kick it's invited both of the wingers in field. It's invited Ewan Hughes forward, and Hughes, little central run and then gets the ball away to the left. Murley gets it back in field for Ollie Morris. He was bright last week and he's had the opportunity to continue in that outside centre role, but England get themselves caught again holding onto the ball, and a couple of times they've visited the fringes of the Scottish 22. They've turned the ball over. Ollie Morris, younger brother of Dom, who was part of the England under-20s World Rugby Under-20 Championship last summer. A win there. He's getting a run over the 2 weeks. This is Scotland's first under-18 international of the year. They will go on to have more of an internal fixture against the under-19s next. England try and break through Charlie Wright, and on the support line is Joe Tunney, and Tunney's going to go all the way for the game's opening score. The Challengers second row. He's done well for Wasps this year. And England open the scoring. Conversion attempt from Hardwick has just drifted past the right hand upright, so no extras to add, but 5 points on the board. Let's just have another look at the try. The initial break from Charlie Wright. On the support line, it was more of a case that the Scots just hadn't really got back to form a defensive line. Easy running in the end for Tunney. Scottish restart. Taken in by Reid. Then it comes through Hardwick. And then Hughes. Fox plucks that one away from the base of the ruck. And Hardwick getting involved a little closer than maybe he wants, and just out of shot he runs back and gets himself into more of a first receiver position, and he's just calling his other players in. He wants Charlie Wright in there as it then comes to the fly half. It's, well, part up and under, part crossfield kick, challenge in the air, and England have managed to get this ball downfield, and Ollie Morris is giving chase to compete with Jack Blaine. Blaine falls to the floor, gets to his feet, and Morris wants to turn him over and rip the ball away. Scotland have managed to hold on to it, which is, well, brave in the extreme given the pressure that they were under. Gus Waugh. Little box kick down to this near side, just down below our commentary position. Hardwick. Big square shape of a fly half, Hardwick. From rugby school. And Leicester Tigers just getting the ball knocked on. Was involved in the England 16s, played under 17s last year. He's played an A-League game for Leicester Tigers. Given the battle that rugby union can have with rugby league in the more northern quarters of England, it's great to be up in the northwest and seeing the support out in number behind England under 18s in rugby union. One of the clubs to receive the artificial surface, which allows much more use of the pitch all year round, much more of a community hub as well for the opportunities to play junior rugby, touch rugby, everything else that will make the most use out of these pitches. The RFU supporting them through various schemes. Scotland will look to try and use some front foot ball. They got it from the scrum, and the little chip, well, it might just go a little too far. Oh, it's just held up before going over the try line, so there's not going to be the chance to dot it down for the 22. And Ewan Hughes, well, had to make a late decision to try and run it out and ran himself into a tackle. And Scotland, at the end of all that, have got themselves a line out about 12 metres from the English try line. Angus Fraser, High School of Dundee. Throws to the back, it's gone to English hands. And then Reid, plenty of men in it. Morris wanting to put a bit more pace on it and try and draw the tackle. Doesn't end up getting the pass away, but sets up the ruck, and Fox has spotted an opportunity down the far side on the blind side. Little chip over the top, and Fox is fast, but it's well handled by Blaine. Wasn't too upset by it, focused on the ball. It's good work from the Stuarts Melville College fullback. Kick downfield, finds Morris again, who was well positioned. Looked to try and step back through the tackles, but Angus Fraser brings him down expertly, and Scotland again get the penalty in that middle third of the field. England have got to get the supportive numbers in there a little more heavily if they're going to preserve the sort of possession that they've got in that area of the field. So England putting it through the hands until it finds Morris, and then pins his ears back. Good tackle from Andrew McLean. And then Fox fancied it down the short side. McMichael in chase. Now, I thought at this stage that he might win the foot race. Scotland with possession from the line out on the 10-metre line. Going route one. England trying to hold them up with Aaron Hinkley. And at the minute, well, momentary, it was successful. English backline almost straying offside there, but they just got themselves back in time. But it's penalty Scotland. Ollie Fox has gone quickly. He might not realise that the penalty's not gone his way. England players just going over the ball, going off their feet. Scotland put this one into the corner. They'll have a line out from a very similar position to where they were just a couple of moments ago. That line out ended up in English hands. Can they make this one tell, as we've had coming up to 12 minutes and just the one score on the board from England so far? Joe Tunney's try. That ended up as a first phase try off the line out. Can Scotland put anything similar together? Or they go at the front, and it nearly worked for Gus Waugh. He came careering through what they thought was a gap, but George Head nailed his man. Sharp enough too, that little bit of trickery, and in the minute Scotland don't have a scrum half, so England are going to try and counter-ruck through it, and then it's a knock-on at the base from Waugh. And that was really good intensity defensively from England, and awareness that the 9 wasn't there. They pile the pressure on. And this will be a chance for England to practice their exit. They've lined up all of their men on that left-hand side. There's no one out of your shot to the left. It is all going on behind and to the right as we look of that scrum. In from Fox. There with Basham, who picks and goes and finds Fox, and then a little shorter ball, but it's gone forwards. Referee is right in line with it. He's called a couple of those little short pop passes forwards. Good job Rhys Webb's not playing in this one. They might have had a question or two with a couple of those on Friday nights. It's been quite a weekend for English rugby against Scottish. The under-20s and of course the senior men winning their respective Six Nations Championship trophies. England senior men, of course, with the job to do to go to Ireland next week. Scotland under-18s. Oh, that's really nicely worked. Blaine on the little looping run round the outside. Eagers was wanting it. Little show from Darge. This is good from Scotland. A little bit more continuity in the play, and it's popped up for Nimmo. Gets about 4 metres out. It's none too flashy from Scotland, but as long as it's effective, that's all that matters. And then as Angus Fraser got over, he was just stopped short. But then there's nobody home, just on the other side of the posts, and Harry Butler gets over. It's in a very kickable position, so this could be a chance for Scotland to take the lead. Really good patient build-up from Scotland. Working it from one side of the field over to the other side. Going through the phases. Ross Thompson. Wants to make absolutely sure of this for the psychological edge it will give Scotland. It is right in front of the post, but let's not hurry anything. And Scotland take the lead. England 5, Scotland 7. Well, they got themselves right up to the post. Angus Fraser thought he'd scored, but was quick enough to get that ball back, and then, well, the guards just weren't tight enough to the posts. Joe Tunney slow to react to Butler going in. Hardwick. His father, Rob Hardwick. Got a singular cap for England as prop. Hardwick just sends that one towards the 22. Big hit from England on the receiver. Scotland want to put it through the hands. Fraser carried that one up hard. Kick from Thompson downfield. Ewan Hughes not under too much pressure, just a bit wayward with the pass into Hardwick. Scotland are up in decent number defensively, and they get over the ball and force the turnover. Brilliant from Scotland. They've got in that position a couple of times and won penalties. That time they won the ball, and they'll look to try and use it. War looking to try and use numbers down the short side, nearly getting in front of each other there. Now it's a carry from Callum Bell, the Glasgow Academy man. They go short side again. War looking to try and step back in, but Ollie Fox is there. Fox is bigger than his opposite number, trying to hold him up, but it didn't happen. Bell is in there to play scrum half, but the nature of a second row doing so, it's slow to get away, and the ball slapped from his grasp, and Aaron Hinkley carries on for England, who get good turnover ball. And it's the big forward Joe Hayes, who's looking potentially to try and offload out the back of his hand, but sensibly decides it's best being kept in hand, and Ollie Fox wants to keep the tempo up. Referee gives the penalty, but now England get going, and Hardwick is on his shoulder over the 22. Ball is popped up. England with three options to the right, but Fox goes back to the open side. Hardwick one option of receiver, but Joe Hayes then comes thundering in. Now Hardwick once more looking out to the left through Redpath. George Head, but it's gone forward from Redpath. Just a bit of inaccuracy when England are really trying to make the most of some of the wider possession. Just got a momentary stop. Angus Fraser. Convert from the back row is the Scottish hooker. Second season playing at number 2. He's a big tackler, likes running in the loose. Just doing some work with the coaches on those core skills that a hooker needs. Hooking being one of them, no doubt. There's a bit of a breeze going from sort of across the pitch from left to right, just coming towards our camera position. Not quite as testing as we found conditions at Aylesbury last week, for those of you that tuned in to watch that one. Took a little while for our cameramen to thaw themselves and dry themselves out after that one. Crowd watching on here. The ale in full flow here at Preston Grasshoppers. Just about a 10-15 minute drive out of the centre of Preston in Lancashire. Ready to get going again. Plenty of pressure on the Scottish scrum, and just as it looked like England might get a turnover, a Scottish boot quickly hooked the ball back and spared them any blushes on that score, but clearance was a little sliced, so England will now have the line out, and overall they'll take that percentage win. Taken at the back by Joe Tunney, try scorer, and then Aaron Hinkley running round the corner. Now England, they dummy to go right. Hardwick was calling for it left, and they might have a bit of room. Caden Murley just managed to offload it before he was taken into touch, but we're going back for a penalty. Sacking at the line out, bringing down Tunney. Got to wait for the man to return to the floor. Dolly. Jump to James Scott that time, and England get a rumble on. If Scotland managed to get enough people under that, they might just. But England go again. And, well, the referee's right on the spot, but he says it's held up from Tunney, who's looking for his second. England will have a 5-metre scrum. Look very, very close in there. Michael English, referee, well positioned. Ewan Hughes joining the line in the outside centre position, but just out of shot. He's moving a little further back, so he might change where he arrives, but it's Fox on to Redpath, and Redpath spills it forwards. Scotland with possession then, on their own line. They'll be looking to find the left boot of Thompson as soon as they can. Well, in fact, instead of Thompson, Waugh decides he will do the box kick work himself. Decent enough job. England will have to come again from the 22. Scott used once again. Oh, but it popped out almost a little too quick for Ollie Fox. England not quite finding their rhythm this week as quickly as they were able to last week. But that takes nothing away from what the Scottish under-18s have brought to the table so far as well. Thompson always got to have a little juggle with it. Manages to find half a second to get that kick away, and it's a superb kick. Absolutely brilliant clearance from the Scottish fly half. Got some real yardage on it. England with the line out inside their own half now. "35-minute halves at under 18, so we've got about 13 minutes left of the first half. Fox gets it away from the line. Jumpers from Tunney. England piling players in again, but Scotland once again trying to get over the top and isolate it. Fox goes to the left, Hardwick. Little dummy to begin with, then the short little pop pass to Ollie Morris. There's an advantage being played because it's been knocked on. And just a sense of frustration about England at the moment. It's just not working for them. Getting a little bit inaccurate, unforced errors. Scotland will be loving how much they're getting in possessions to stop that English momentum. To get this scrum restarted. The wind just getting up here and the rain trying to come down a little heavier. from War. Thompson coming through the middle through McMichael. It's a tall, rangy centre. Scots add their weight to that as England try and hold it up and turn it into a maul, but, well, having got to ground and it be unplayable, referee says it will be England ball. Boys in white will be pleased with that defensive effort despite the Scots getting some go forward. Squirts out the back from Basham to Fox, Hardwick, then Reid. It's the 10-metre line and inside England territory. It's a little bit loose for James Scott to pick up. England have gone backwards, total of 15 yards from where they won possession. Little chip forward is useful enough just to play a bit more percentage rugby and take play into the Scottish half. So a few umbrellas popping up around the ground here at Lightfoot Green. Probably the heaviest the rain has been so far today, just going to make things a touch more greasy. Going to be a bit of a test for the players. England 5, Scotland 7. Referee just wants the Scottish line to get a little bit more settled. They go to the back. Oh, and it was slightly overthrown. Charlie Wright was waiting for it in case he could profit from the mistake, and it worked out for him. Good bargaining from the flanker, and England keep it alive, popping it up off the floor, but referee says that's gone forward from that position. Thought it had been well executed, but it was very nice from Charlie Wright. Exeter Chiefs, Exeter College man, back from a shoulder injury. Had a few games back. His early season form was good, and he seems to be rediscovering a bit of that. Good opportunism from the back of the line out a moment ago, but ball is with Scotland. War. McMichael at inside, now finds a bit more room for Thompson, and Thompson gets his left peg to it, but there's an offside from England in the middle. So fly half will have a little bit more time to put his boot through and try and take some yards down this near side. Clearance kick is a decent one. Caused a hubbub below us as it nearly takes out one of the spectators. Fraser. Dummy is to the front of the line, and then they go to the back, but again it's gone over the top, and again Charlie Wright's the one to profit. And the Scottish set piece is not going, but running like a bull is Aaron Hinckley, and my goodness me, what a score that is from Hinckley. He's mobbed by his teammates, and why not? Absolutely bullocking run from the flanker. He may be naturally a bit more like a 7, but, well, that was a run that a winger would be proud of. Flanker to flanker, steps inside really nicely and then just got going. Not the best tackle from Andrew McLean. Or from Jack Blaine. England get their second try. Successful conversion from Hardwick. And England get themselves up to 12 points. Restart from Scotland, gathered in the 22. Oh, that's really lovely footwork from Ewan Hughes. Still going. Oh my goodness me. It's got support on the outside from Reid. And Reid is brought down by Lenine. What a break from from Hughes. England with possession again, looking to add a third try to the second that went in only a minute ago. Fox, Morris, surely they've got room here if they can straighten and use the men. Just drifted a little in attack there, England. Ball is loose. Penalty Scotland. Loose ball came forward off an England player and then picked up by a man in front of the ball, so it's ended up as a penalty. Well, this is the run from Ewan Hughes. Just shows to the left. Bristol man came late to the setup after spells with Ireland and Wales, but he is eligible for England. As we come back to our live pictures, England with ball in hand once again, wanting to turn 2 tries into 3 in this first half. Good drive through and clearance that time. They're beginning to learn their lesson that Scotland are trying to get in and force those turnovers. It was a little reverse ball from Cameron Redpath. It wasn't read by Morris. Goes to ground. Redpath dumped in the tackle afterwards. Then a little chip through from Fox. Was hoping that Aaron Reid could chase after that, but the boy from Kirkham wasn't quite going to make that one. Pretty ambitious. That clock you can see with the scoreboard here at Lightfoot Green is, well, that's a constantly rolling clock. We're doing our best to stop and start ours. Time will be on the referee ultimately, but we have got 2 or 3 minutes left of this first half. 35 minutes a half. Ball is in, loose off the top. Who is it? That man again, Charlie Wright, benefiting. England have got 5 to the right. It's a penalty. That's going to be the option here. Hardwick consults. And they're going to put this in the corner. Got to be careful, he judges the wind right here, which he does. Doesn't want that to overcook and end up in the dead ball zone. England line, it's untidy, the ball greasy. It's been knocked on by England. Key opportunity, but it is the nature of the rain now that's just made a slight change to how easy it's going to be to play clever with the ball, play those quick, rash decision moves, those low percentage passes, that sort of thing. It just didn't work out for England there as they tried to be cute at the front of the line out. And then getting a good drive on. Scotland not going backwards at the minute, and it's a penalty to the visitors. They are weathering this storm from England. They were really hoping, John Fletcher's men, to keep getting some go forward after that second try went down, and in fact the referee has said that that is that for the first half. Well, Scotland will be relatively pleased, you would expect, because a lot of the chat before the game was how there might be a bit more experience at representative level and international level within the England ranks compared to what some of the boys in the Scottish ranks have experienced. But it's not looking too bad at all. We have a great second half in prospect. It's half time of England under 18 12, Scotland under 18 7. So let's have a little look at some highlights from the first half. And well, this was Charlie Wright on the first of several metres that he's made in that first half, on that occasion offloading to Joe Tunney, who got the scoring opened. Dr. Challoner's second row. He challenged Tunney to be a little bit more physical around the ball, and well, he's won that channel. That was Angus Fraser going very, very close for Scotland, but recognising he wasn't there and to recycle, and that allowed Harry Butler to crush over from close range. The London Irish man, Scottish exile player. And then Wright, turn provider to Aaron Hinkley, that from a good 50 metres out said, I fancy a try from here if you don't mind. And he's absolutely gone for it. Brilliant try from the blind side. And then, well, this one didn't result in the score, but it was sensational from Ewan Hughes. One tackle gone. And then he just slides his way through. Aaron Reid was then caught. But Scotland very much in this, competitive, putting plenty of pressure on England at the breakdown, and deserving of just trailing by 5 points. Plenty more stuff coming up for you on englandrugby.com, on our live streaming here. So much content for you. And on March the 26th, we have the Green King IPA Championship for you. It's going to be a match between Cornish Pirates and Doncaster Knights. We will be down in Penzance for that one. Looking forward to a pasty. Tuesday, March the 28th, well, that's the NatWest Schools Cup finals. And it's the Playton Bowl finals at Sixways. Then on Wednesday the 29th, it's the under 18 and under 15 Cup and Vase finals. That is at the home of England Rugby, Twickenham Stadium. And then we have the Women's Premiership final for you. Of course, in effectively its last season in its current form, before it becomes the Women's Super Rugby competition. And that's Sunday, April the 23rd. That final from Sixways as well. All coming up on englandrugby.com. So we'll be back with the second half in just a few moments. Well, welcome back to our live coverage of the England under-18s against Scotland under-18s here at Lightfoot Green in Preston Grasshoppers Rugby Club. England leading by 12 points to 7 after that first half. 2 first half tries from Joe Tunney and Aaron Hinkley to the one that went down from Harry Butler. Hardwick to get us restarted for England then from right to left. Some of the changes have begun, but in the nature of this fixture as well, we should point out that the changes can come and go. Replacements will be rolling in order to give people a decent run. England with good possession from the restart, and they're going close quarters down the near side. Ollie Morris is brought to ground. Changes for England include Tom Seabrook, who is, well, nearly in the play here, just outside Nick Dolly. Oh, and, well, I thought for a moment it was knocked on at the base there, but we're coming back for an offside against Scotland, and the referee taking a position right in front of the posts. Tom Hardwick might prefer that he'd stayed where he was, but he works with a little narrow channel to boot that ball into the corner. England with an early chance from set piece then to try and exert some up-front grunt and get over the line, or will it be an opportunity for Ollie Fox to try and release his back line? It's down with Wright. Charlie Wright, who'd, well, he'd be deserving of a try of his own given his role in the first half, tidying up an awful lot of ball from the line out and feeding Aaron Hinkley for his run upfield. Sterling effort if you missed it. Hardwick, little dummy back inside for Hinkley. Needed Morris in a more outside channel. England have still held on to it. Ball popped up like a little bar of soap, but they've held on to it. Fox. Well, we're coming back for the penalty. Taking the player out at the line out. Not one of those in the first half. And Hardwick again says we'll go line out. Trying to keep the tempo up. As we said before, you might be watching on thinking we'll take the points while you've got the opportunity to keep it ticking over. For the coaches and for these players, it's about expression and the opportunity to try stuff out. There's a little bit of room for Seabrook down this near side, but it's not necessarily victory at all costs, as we've seen in plenty of other England against Scotland matches so far this weekend. Dolly popped it up for George Head. Skillful prop, enjoys getting his hands on the ball. That's a lovely outside line from Charlie Wright. Thought he might just get round. Head, oh sorry, Hardwick back inside, but it's not quite worked for England that time. Scotland drive them back. Fox, Hardwick, little bit of footwork from the fly half, and is he over himself? That's lovely work. And Tom Hardwick gets over for England's third try. A bit of individual brilliance. There was a good sense of urgency about it there, almost a little frustrated that it was getting slower through the phases. Quick bit of footwork, try given. Hardwick, no problem with adding the conversion. 2 out of 3 from the tee, and England with a 19 points to 7 lead. Away from Fox, Hardwick just stands up a couple of the Scottish defenders and gets in for the try. Ollie Morris receives the kickoff from Scotland, and Hardwick will return, and he returns well. Finlay Scott on for duties at hooker in the second half. Not the tidiest, but taken by another replacement in Dan York. Murphy Walker is also on, as there's been a wholesale change in that Scottish front row. Cameron Henderson also on, the big number 19. Scotland get it away. It's gone backwards from Thompson. As England go through the tackle, he gets up the other side of them. Now we have a penalty advantage, I think. And Scotland opt to try and probe that into the corner, or it skips nicely off the surface and will give them that line out in the corner. English defensive line out. It's not been the tidiest of set piece for either side. Loose over the back a few times, but that one is a little tidier from England. And they get a bit of a drive on. They get a lot of a drive on. Hardwick, oh, he's been charged down by Thompson, who's going to get in for the try. And it's a try that keeps the game interesting after England's first score of the second half. Scotland reply. Hardwick just taking a little long over the clearance option. Well, the maul had worked well for them, but pressure was on from the Scottish defensive line as Hardwick just took a second too long. Thompson with the conversion then. And it's successful. Closes the gap back to back to 5 points. England 19, Scotland 14. So just 5 points between the two sides. England will be looking to try and get the next score on the board. Oh, and it's fallen loose out the back for Scotland, and England jump on it. And this could be just the platform they need to get some go forward. Capon involved now, off the bench, as is James Dunn. Hardwick gets the carry, then runs around. He'll want it again from Fox, and Fox goes. Little dummy to try and go through, but he was well shut off, but he did well to pop the ball up to Capon. And now Fox again. Hardwick with options. Defensive Scottish line is coming forward. Ollie Morris dances back inside and makes 3 or 4 metres. Fox, Hardwick, little jud through, and that might work out for Cameron Redpath. It's a brilliant, brilliant finish. Little jab from the boot was just enough to send Redpath through, and England have their 4th try. Really nicely weighted little kick through. Cameron Redpath got a try last week, and he's on the board again this week, as his dad Brian Redpath, former Scotland scrum half, watches on. Hardwick then, slightly trickier effort. Not quite able to slot that one. So 10 points between the sides. England 24. Scotland under 18s 14. Restart, hangs long in the air, gives Scotland, well, a chance to get there, but they knock on in getting there, so it'll be a scrum to England. Commentary position here, just above the catering tents that they have below. That inimitable smell of a rugby club barbecue and burger stand. It's working wonders for my appetite, I can share that much with you. Ollie Fox, English scrum half, waits to get this one in. Oh, it's just slipped out the back of the hand from Josh Basham, but tiptoeing up the touchline. This is Tom Seabrook, and he's brought down. Was that a touch late? Referee happy enough with it. And then, well, Ollie Fox gives a little bit of afters to the tackler as play continues downfield, and that's then an enormous hit from Fraser Dingwall, who's onto the field, forcing the knock-on. And what an entrance we've seen from Fraser Dingwall. He's played a bit of rugby for Scotland, Dingwall. Played alongside Fraser Strachan, of course, at schoolboy level. We've seen them in the Champions Trophy coverage this season. Josh Eagers. This is what you call a hospital pass to Ross Thompson. But we're ready to continue. Wasn't the tidiest of scrums, and Scotland have taken advantage. Thompson gets good distance on the kick. Oh, and it's just been knocked on, and Aaron Reid wasn't under an awful lot of pressure. I think he was thinking about what he was going to do next rather than what he needed to do first. Easy mistake to make at this level. Scotland will enjoy how they've got out of jail and got upfield out of that one. Penalty Scotland, and they look to tap and go quickly through Gus Waugh. There's another penalty coming as England weren't back 10 before they made the tackle. So Scotland will try and use as much of this to their advantage as possible. Dan York, the last man to carry, and then it's Henderson from Strathallan School. It's a great conversation with Ali Donaldson during the week about Cameron Henderson. He's 6'6". the big number 19. He says every time we see him, he's getting bigger. So penalty in Scotland. Well, for all of the talk about the development of the players, perhaps the Scottish under-18s feeling a little bit of national pride might need salvaging this weekend. And while they trail by 5 and have the opportunity to try and creep back, trail by 10 and have the opportunity to try and creep back by a few points on the scoreboard, well, Ross Thompson and Ewan McLaren have decided that taking this penalty might be just what the doctor ordered. Thompson, certainly no problem with the distance, and the direction is superb. He's got great core skills, the Scottish fly half, and that does just make things a little more interesting because it takes Scotland back to within a converted try of levelling up. And the penalty from Thompson makes it 3 out of 3 from his boot. Scotland receive the ball from England's restart. Box kick from Wall, comes down for Hardwick, pops it up on the run around. Andy Christie. Hardwick just checks his options. Fox under a bit of pressure. There's a big shout coming down the near side from Tom Seabrook, who wants a little kick into the corner to chase. Opposite number Josh Eagers has recognised it. Now then, bit of work for Jack Blaine to do. Puts the ball up, a little late in getting the chase on. So is this going to be a chance for England to attack on the far side? And now it's into the hands of Seabrook once again. Back in for Ollie Morris. Tackle from Scotland made by Finlay Scott. Now away, Hardwick. Solid tackling from Scotland. Ball pops up, but I think there's going to be a penalty here as Scotland weren't getting out of the way soon enough, and in fact it's going to be a yellow card for Harry Butler. Scotland try scorer will have 7 minutes in the bin. Well, Scotland will have to compete now for the next 7 minutes with 14 men. A few more changes being made by England in the meantime. Well, this is just a little bit of loitering in an offside position really from Harry Butler. Ball is taken down at the back. A little more calm from England here, and Hinckley. And they come to the left. Ollie Fox has left the field. He's been replaced by Kelametti. It's a good carry from Bevan Rodd. Sedborough Sale boy, just 16, which is pretty young to be fielding a prop at that age at this level, but certainly someone that John Fletcher wants to see how he goes. And England get over the line. It's a really good drive. Wondering if it might be Tom Seabrook at the bottom of it, whether it was a forwards effort or the winger. I think it was Seabrook. He's been really hungry for the ball since he came on. He's been calling loudly down on this near side for possession. So he hasn't resisted the chance to show what he can do at close quarters, the Dean Close man. Popped up to Seabrook there. He's got 2 Scottish men, then 3. Drives over really well, he's helped as well. And that's a good English try. This conversion to take England over 30 points. No problem for Hardwick then. 31 points to 17. England now with the lead. Still over 4 minutes left on that yellow card. Coming down for Morris. Kelametti, Hardwick. Scottish tackles come in, that time it's Dan York. Hardwick wanted to try and find the offload. Referee right in line with it, then it's just been knocked forward from the last try scorer. Scotland will have a scrum. About a quarter of an hour remaining. Little bit of chat going on from Kelametti. New scrum half to War as well. In from War. Away Thompson, then on the outside. Oh, that's a nice little bit of running. It was Eagers who was the receiver, and then good hands out on the wide from Matthew Davidson, and Scotland still with possession. It's an excellent bit of first phase ball from them. Now it's with Henderson. And Hutchinson for company. England have stolen it, but illegally so. Scotland penalty. I sense at this stage it might not be about 3 points. They need more if they're going to keep in touch with England here. Scottish player down. Gus Wall who's getting a bit of attention. The kick is made into the corner, oh, but it's a real error. It's gone over that flag in the corner, well, to the right of the flag, over the dead ball. And we'll come back for a 22. Opportunity lost for Scotland. All valuable lessons learned at this age in accuracy and game management, but no less frustrating at the time for the team. Charge down is made by England, but Scotland keep it through Rory McMichael, the Wellington College man who's played first 15 there for 2 years. Good potential across the back division. Might have thought about sticking it on the outside there a moment ago, but then it's Ewan McLaren who's back on the field, having had a little bit of a rest. And oh, that's really good quick hands to try and set some more room out down the left for Matthew Davidson. He's been calling for it on that left side since he's come on, the Merchiston Castle School man. He's a sort of reserve fly half slash fullback. He's popped up on that left hand wing a couple of times. putting the boot to the ball on that occasion. Now then, changes being made again for England. Back onto the field is Ewan Hughes. Rolling on and off, leaving the field for England, Redpath. England through Tunney, Hardwick. Been given a really long opportunity to assert himself in that controlling fly half position. Oh, some really nice feet there from Davidson. Now on the right side, but the little chip through hasn't quite worked, and the pass from Hardwick has gone forward. It looked it at the time. Shrug of the shoulders from Hardwick, but referee right in line, and that ball away to Blaine was just half a metre forward. So Scotland back up to full numbers. Butler comes back on from the sin bin. See out the last 10 minutes of this one. Replacement scrum half, Rowan Frostwick is onto the field. That's Thompson. Wanted to try and find a gap, McMichael, but it didn't really open up for him. Little dink through from Hardwick. The chase is on, the volume goes up as the big former Will Capon gives chase. He's still there to make the tackle, and that's the important thing. Ball squirts out to the left. Now it's popped up for Capon. Could he still benefit with the score? Be a very popular one with the crowd if so. Just knocked on by England. Cheered by the Scottish fans down there. Great to see Will Capon running into open water. Big pressure scrum for Scotland. It's moving around a fair bit before the ball gets in. Referee wants to just get it reset. Ali Donaldson speaking during the week that the gap from schools to regional to international is the big issue in Scottish rugby. They need more games at a higher standard. This will be a big learning experience for the boys in blue. They've certainly acquitted themselves well in the hour that we've seen. Plenty to enjoy. Grant Hughes with the little carry from the Dollar Academy. Tough, nuggety little centre, and then it's Henderson again. Not making too many yards, but they're just trying to find a platform secure enough in which they can make a clearance. Thompson just sinks back into the pocket a little bit. There was plenty of pressure put on the scrum half. Joe Tunney was right there. Scotland do still have it. Perhaps they will be better using Thompson on this occasion. Tunney really physical in those tackles, causing Scotland a few problems while they're under so much pressure on their own line here. And then another charge down from Capon. Scotland will have a line out. Still not cleared their lines. Calametti trying to get in there and cause some problems, but Frostwick gets it away. Frostwick with a little bit more room there. Gets that one away. England want to take it quickly, and they do. It's well scooped up off the floor by Ewan Hughes. Greasy old ball. And then Andy Christie wants to play link man to get more of the players going on the outside, and it's Caden Murley. Kelemetti goes quickly. Seabrook popping up on a little shorter ball, but it's a penalty. Went forward and then it was an offside. Scottish line out. England come through and steal it. But now it's back in Scottish hands. Scotland drive forward. Can they get the ball back there? That's the problem. Yes. Frostwick pops it up. Time for Hutchison. Comes deeper for Thompson. He's outside his 22, so this one needs to stay in field, and it does. It skips up. Hardwick's in the middle, but there was a big shout, and Ewan Hughes gets going. Oh, that little return pass on the inside was probably on, but it's now with Dingwall. Kelemetti, Hardwick. Finding James Dunn. Knock on again though, or forward pass, sorry. Scottish scrum. Scotland are getting plenty of chances of possession here from the referee in this second half, the errors that England are making, but they're not quite able to thread enough together to really threaten that English try line. That's what's undoing them. Another little pause, just a few minutes remaining in the match. Plenty of people lining the touchline, enjoying a Sunday afternoon beer or two, or a coffee and a burger. What a fine way to spend your Sunday afternoon. Watching an international, the stars of tomorrow no less. And we're here at Preston Grasshoppers enjoying this contest. .14 points between the sides. A few minutes remaining in the match. 70-minute game, of course, for those of you unfamiliar. It's in from Frostwick. It's at the back. Interestingly, Angus Fraser has, with his back row experience, slipped back from hooker to fill in at number 8. Ewan Hughes. Another one of those darting runs from him, and then Capon. Strong runner. Hardwick goes for a little chip through, and he's tried to give chase, but Frostwick is under a bit of pressure and he's looking for which option is the right option, and then Davidson puts a little kick through and chips that into the corner and just inside the English 22, and that's intelligent play. Time to put a bit of pressure on the English line out. It's been slow and steady from Scotland in the last 5 minutes, but they have been moving ever closer to the England line. It's just been taking its time. We've seen England launch themselves from these sort of positions before in this game. They'd love a chance to put another decent try together through the hands. Jumpers from Tunney. Kelemetti is calling for it. England get a shove on. They've got outside their 22 now, so any ball back from Kelemetti and Hardwick is either going to have to be run or kept in field if it's kicked. Now Hardwick, Scottish defence comes up on them. Ball popped out the back for Dingwall. There's a long pass required, but now it finds Hughes. Quick ball back inside for Hughes, who keeps it alive. And it's just about working out for England as Christie jumps on it. Kelemetti getting in there. It's a penalty, Scotland, and it's been solely won by Rowan Frostwick. Brilliant body position. Spotted the opportunity to get over the ball. And on turnovers, well, Scotland have got to have the better of England in that department. It may not be that they have them in many departments this afternoon, but they have competed brilliantly, and certainly that area of turnover is, well, an area they can feel immensely proud. So I think there was a yellow card in there for non-release from Andy Christie. Referee had enough of England slowing it down. Nearly missed that one, but it was indeed a yellow card. So 14 now for England. And can Scotland make the man advantage towel? It comes through Cameron Henderson at the line, and they truck it up right into the middle of the park. And Frostwick has options to his left, and it's a really big tackle. Drives Scotland back the 5 metres they'd made. Player gets to his feet, but he never released the ball, and he needed to. Just a bit of awareness there. Takes the chance away from the Scots. Good line out. Good jump from Dunn. First experience at international level for James Dunn. Got a great attitude according to John Fletcher. Hardwick. Oh, he was always going to be caught there as the ball came floating towards him from Kelemetti. And now penalty to England as Thompson decides it might be for Scotland and wastes another valuable second or two. And it's taken quickly by Ewan Hughes. Gets the chip through, but Frostwick receives it, and it didn't quite work out how Ewan Hughes might have hoped there. Cameron Henderson makes a couple of yards. Frostwick to the left for Thompson. Shape to chip. Tackle was always coming in, and Hinckley. Big hit on the fly half. Thompson, to his credit, straight back to his feet. But England with possession. Kelemetti. White shirts in close quarters. Hinckley, oh, it's going to be another one of those runs. We saw it first half. This time the tackle is excellent from Matthew Davidson. Hinckley's not going to go all the way, but he set up a platform. They're looking to go short side again. Little chip over the top. There were men calling for it wide for England, and they perhaps thwarted a chance there. Plenty of white shirts calling for it on the open side, but it will just now be a Scottish 22. Well, our clock's gone red. We may have had a moment or two of time off according to the referee's watch, but not long left in this one at all. England looking to have got the job done, but Scotland worthy competitors in this one and can feel proud of their input. Can England create another score? Will Capon. Back in field, but it's loose from England. It's knocked forward on the floor, and that will be the last moment of the match. So 5 tries for England and 2 for Scotland, and a very warm round of applause from those who have come out to watch here at Preston Grasshoppers. We've had some entertaining rugby given the circumstances. The benefit of these modern pitches as well has helped us avoiding a mud bath even, as it certainly could have been. But credit to both sides for doing their best to keep ball in hand and playing some rugby. 5 tries for England for the likes of Tunney, Hinckley, Hardwick, Redpath and Seabrook. Butler and Thompson the scorers for Scotland, but it has finished full time. England under-18s 31, Scotland under-18s 17, and we will review the tries from the match. Joe Tunney, the man to get us going then, and it was Charlie Wright who was doing plenty of good things in that first half, who was able to just pop that ball off to the big second row. Fraser went close for Scotland before Harry Butler popped up and spotted that no one was at home next to the post and went over himself. And Scotland's conversion took them into the lead at that stage. They led 7 points to 5. And then Wright again popped it up for Hinckley, who, like a steam train, absolutely got going, pumped the legs and got over the line. Great shots of the rapturous reception he got once he'd got over the whitewash. And then England going through the forwards, hoping that they might get through, but just took a little bit of fleet of footwork. This was after half-time from Tom Hardwick, who had a decent game, was kept on for the full 70 minutes. Then there was the charge down. That was the try for Thompson, which he converted, and well, we were back to a 5-point game then at that stage. England 19, Scotland 14. But Cameron Redpath, it was a really nice chip through from Hardwick, just jabbed it with the perfect weighting, and a good chase from Redpath. And it just started to open up there. 10 points the difference on that occasion. Hardwick unable to convert, but then Tom Seabrook wanted the ball for quite a while when he came on, was hanging out on the wing, and then decided if it's not going to make it out this wide, well, I'll come straight through the middle. And what a great afternoon's rugby. Both teams doing everything they could in pretty slippery conditions to put a decent game out on the field for us and for the watching fans here, and we hope you've enjoyed it here on englandrugby.com. Maybe you're watching through the England Rugby Facebook page as well, or on YouTube, wherever. It's been good to have your company. We will do our best to get a bit of post-match reaction as well from an England point of view, from John Fletcher and perhaps from the skipper, but for now we have a full-time score at Preston Grasshoppers between England under-18s and Scotland under-18s of 31 points to 17. Delighted to be here with the England under-18s captain today, Ollie Fox. And Ollie, what was your take on that game?
Oh, just a great effort from all the lads. Really stuck in there to just graft and get a win. And I'm sure we'll all be really pleased with that because, you know, it's quite nice to beat Scotland as it is and finish off 4 fantastic wins of the weekend.
Yes, absolutely. You're continuing where the other England rugby sides have left off over the course of the weekend. John Fletcher, the coach, I know, has talked about the fact that you guys as players need to be given the chance to express yourselves as often as possible. And do you guys feel supported in the opportunity to do that? It certainly looked like you were looking for any chances to run the ball today.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the support from the coaches to just go out there and be yourselves, that's one of the main messages. And I think you can see that with the score, you know, 5 tries to 2. We go out there with an intent to play and we do it. And I know coming off that pitch, we really enjoyed our time on there, just, yeah, like you say, expressing ourselves.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity for you guys as well, representatively, to be able to play at this top level, for it to be, you know, another mark in your careers from schoolboy to academy to then playing at this sort of level as well.
Yeah, it's an honour, as it would be to play for your country. There's nothing better than that, and yeah, I just hope to do it again, and you know, in years to come, and that's the goal. That's the goal for everyone here. So
brilliant. Well, Ollie, many congratulations. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, John Fletcher, congratulations. Job done again for your England under-18s boys this weekend.
Yeah, it was. It was a little bit of a sticky performance. The rain came halfway through the game, which is never easy for the players to adapt. Lots of good intent. We're pleased with the 5 tries. We do feel as though we've left quite a lot out there, and that's what we'll work on next time we're together.
Yeah, it certainly looked at times that perhaps the keenness to use that short side and surprise the opposition was perhaps overused, and that actually going a little more open and sticking to traditional rugby might have benefited them a little more.
Well, yeah, however, it is just about playing to space and playing to the opportunity. The players obviously felt that the opportunity was down the blind side. Yeah, some of our decision making was probably not as good as it was last week. We do feel as though we probably just need to get in positions a little bit earlier just to give ourselves a little bit more time. But yeah, look, to score 5 tries, it was difficult conditions. Scotland played really well, especially the breakdown, caused us lots of problems there. So fair play to Scotland, and yeah, we got lots to work on.
And tell us where your under-18s programme goes on from here now after these 2 international wins against France and Scotland.
We play Wales in a couple of weeks, so again we'll mix around with the team. There'll be quite a few changes from this game, and then we've got a 3-match festival in Wales. So we play Canada under 19s, Ireland, and we play Scotland again last game. And then we have a few months off. The boys will do their exams, and then we're over to South Africa again.
Excellent, plenty to look forward to then.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Excellent. Well, 2 from 2 in 2017 so far. We wish you the best of luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Cheers, John.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers,
So as John Fletcher says, it's 5 tries to 2 for England this afternoon, and the journey for his under-18s players as they move on from, as we mentioned, that schoolboy rugby through to academy level and through to representative international level continues. They of course take great pride in playing for the shirt, as anybody would for the Red Rose, but of course there is plenty more to come for these boys this year and for the rest of their careers as we see them pop up, no doubt, at Premiership level and of course at international. Plenty more coming for you as well, of course, on the live streams, and do check in with englandrugby.com for the latest as we bring you universities, schools finals, and of course we have that Green King IPA Championship match for you coming up towards the end of March as well. So we look forward to your company then. But from all of us here at Preston Grasshoppers, it's a very good afternoon and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.